Joining us now live here on our set at the Super Bowl Experience is Oz the Mentalist. Great to see you.
I have a face made for radio, so it's perfect. The radio, listen to my silky smooth voice, everybody.
So do we.
Something. So. I am psyched that
Psyched.
We're genuinely out of our minds that you're here on this program.
Thank you, man.
Well, we're huge fans.
Huge.
Teacher's a little scared of you, but we're fans. And my daughter, 11-year-old girl Taylor Mattingly Eisen, she and I watch your entire work. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're watching it. She's just, then a number of times, she'll just look at me and goes, Dad, how does he do that?
That brings me tremendous joy because I like to be wholesome, entertaining, and you know what? At the end of the day, there's something that's universal, which is being amazed. Laughing is as well, but like being wowed transcends every language, and that's what I try to put out into the universe, you know, freaking people out in a good way.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Hey, man, oh man. Before we were coming out here, I love the one you did with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen and those guys. I can't stop watching it.
Yeah. I got to tell you the backstory on that.
Okay.
So, very funny that just right before this, we're at Radio Row, Super Bowl, New Orleans. Just so everybody knows where we are. Just saw Joe Burrow about an hour ago.
Yeah.
I was on another show, and I run into Joe, and we're about to be on air, and Joe is still telling me I take up real estate in his mind. Because if you haven't seen the clip, it was the high watermark for me for a while, which is I go in for the Bengals. I don't want to ruin it entirely, but in essence, I'm the best defensive coordinator of all time. I know exactly who he's going to throw the ball to. And the next year, I'm with ESPN, and they go, how can you possibly raise the bar? And the Josh Allen thing is I like to run. I run like marathons, ultra marathons, my side hustle. Day of, if you ask me how I come up with this stuff, day of, I'm running 20 miles in Pittsburgh before I go do the stuff for the Bills, and an hour and a half before I come up with how I'm going to pull this off. It's like I don't want to explain it all, but where he throws to two people I know who, and the ending is I guess someone's ATM PIN code, and it's everything that just happened. That came together an hour and a half before at the tail end of a 20-mile run.
Wow.
Like a eureka moment.
It's unbelievable.
Oz the Mentalist here.
Yes.
Rich Eisen Show, our radio audience just returned. So, wait a minute. So the videos that I watch mostly with my daughter,
yes,
are like NFL training camp videos.
That's right. So I go
each
year to NFL training camps.
How many? Like
I think we've been to 9 teams recently. That's and then we've got. I don't want to jinx it, but most teams have already reached out to us because it's now worked in reverse. Where I think there's 2 things at play. One is that the fans enjoy seeing the players wowed and act like kids again. For lack of a better term, you don't get to see a lot of these players in that way, right? They're media trained, they're savvy, they answer questions in a certain way, and they're wearing helmets, and you watch them on the field, and occasionally you get that access. But I can assure you, you've rarely seen Joe Burrow thoroughly freaked out, shaking his head, potentially swearing under his breath, and I think that's why, forget about just, other people, it's the fans that want it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where ESPN and a lot of different outlets have really latched on, is they love seeing that.
It's great. And Josh Allen and the Bills, the one that we keep bringing up, where you had him throw a football to, I believe it was
anybody in the room.
Anybody in the room.
Anybody
you
in the room.
No idea.
And told him, swear to God that I did not tell you who to pick. You didn't say there's no collusion.
Right.
Why would Josh Allen do what I want him to do? Can we real talk? Do you think I've got enough to cover his contract? Also, there's no access. That's the other thing. You know this better than I do.
Yeah.
It is very tight. I walked in that room and that's it. I don't get to.
Yeah.
Everybody, come on in. Let's fake this for an hour. Hey, there's no such thing. I wish there was. I could have saved myself 30 years of training.
So he throws the ball to Dawson Knox, and he throws one to Greg Rousseau, and
Good
Dawson
memory.
Knox is 88, and Rousseau is 50, and you put it together, and it was another member of the Bills you had just...
His ATM PIN code.
His you stand up, and what's your PIN code? And
No, I guessed it first. He didn't tell me.
No, you told him what it was, and that was mind-blowing. Is it true that, how many players are trying not to play along with you?
So I wouldn't really call it. There's a funny one where if you watch in the Super Bowl, go back and watch the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's almost viral. Him in the front, he didn't even crack a smile once. Jalen was dialed in, my friend. Eyes on the prize. I don't know. I caught him on a day where he just was not into it or feeling it. The rest of the team was, but Jalen was like, "You're not getting into my head," and he was very mum. Most of the time, I could win people over. Jalen was like,
not at all, huh?
Like a bear trap. He's like, you're not getting in here.
Because I would see some players would be like, I don't believe this guy.
I like that. I like the skeptics.
Yeah.
Because think of it as dominoes, right? If you got dominoes lined up, you never push the domino that's 10 down or 20 down.
Right.
You want the first domino. So think of it that way: as if I find the most skeptical, cynical person in the room, and it's not always the player. Sometimes the coaching staff, sometimes it's other people. Someone who's been with the organization for 30 years. Get him, get her.
Right.
And when you get that person, it opens up the room, because now if they cut loose and they're freaked out, everyone else is like, they get their guard down. It's a whole science. There's a whole, it's. I'm not joking when I say I've been learning 30 years how to reverse engineer the human mind. That's what you do, is realize how to manage people effectively.
Body language, too, I'm sure you're reading.
Body language is a huge part of it. Huge.
I imagine so. Do you play poker?
I like how TJ over there's like, I'm not touching my face. He knows what that means.
You are freaked out right now, right?
I don't know.
That's an answer.
That meant yes. You don't need no body language. That tone, you know that he means yes.
I'm a little like, come on, man. I was once in a bar in Pittsburgh once. I was in a little bit different than what you do.
Yep.
A guy had me and my roommate, write our names on playing cards. We signed the card. He stuck them in the pack. He goes, I'm going to make your card fly around the room. Obviously different from what you do, but
Love
still.
that.
He did the 52 card pickup thing.
Yup.
Cards went all over the bar. He's like, where's your card? I'm like, I don't know. It was on the ceiling.
I love
and
that.
And it stayed there for 7 years. So I'm a little bit like, anything like that kind of freak, because it was my signature. It was on the ceiling of the bar. So
that's how I kept faking TJ's checks for years. I just copied the signature off the ceiling. That me and that guy worked in cahoots. I got to get paid.
Oh, well, no wonder I kept having all these overdraft charges, man.
Hey, can't prove it. Statute of limitations, TJ.
That's it. And then
That's a great trick, by the way. That was one of my go-tos. So I paid for college, University of Michigan, doing card tricks.
Wait a minute, you're a Michigan man?
BD's Mongolian barbecue. Shout out. Doesn't exist anymore. Yes, sir. Go blue.
No wonder he loves you so much.
When I found that out, too, on top of it as well, because again, I'm so psyched that you're here, and I can't wait to get to what you're about to do here. But before we do, I mean, was it the Bills 1-2 where you cut the football? It was a cake, too?
Yes.
But then the inside of the cake was the Mickey
Disney,
ears.
Right. I had no idea that.
I told him think what he wants, what his son or daughter would want for their birthday. Imagine blowing out a candle on a cake, and that's when he said it. He was holding that football in his hand.
You could squeeze it.
That's a big man squeezing that football.
Oh my! Yeah, are you testing this before?
Test these things.
We're about to cut some cakes.
Right. So then what? So Pete Carroll, I think, hired you too to bring.
Oh man, I love Pete. Just a shout out to Pete. I adore Pete. There's a funny story there. If we have time.
Please.
Where we're going. Again, ESPN, we set these things up, and this was second season. And Pete Carroll, I'm talking through an ESPN producer, and he's in the room. And, there's, I don't want to call it tact, but there's usually a separation. I don't think Pete Carroll, head coach of the Seahawks, going to talk to me. And he suddenly takes the phone from the producer and tells him, I quote, get the hell out of here. And then I'm literally picking up my kid from school. I expect there to be a 2-minute call. Me and Pete Carroll talked for 47 minutes. We talked about UFOs. We talked about the afterlife. I mean, literally, I thought I was going to sleep on Pete Carroll's couch the next night. That man is a one of one. I love him. And when I got there, we weren't ready. You know how there's a little bit of setup in the sense of we got to get mic'd up. You got to know how the sausage is made. Get camera set up. We're not getting anything set up. I just showed up at the Seahawks facility, and I hear 87 grown men chanting, O's, pounding. The ground is rumbling. I'm thinking we have a earthquake in Seattle. I'm not even mic'd up. You kidding me? They're like, go, go, go. The PA's like running. I'm like, I don't even know where my stuff is. I was so flustered. I was flop sweating. It was the best show that whole season. How that worked, Rich?
Wow.
I don't know.
What a backstory.
It was crazy. There was nothing. Forget about setup. I wasn't even ready.
Well, you crushed it.
You know what?
Oh, man.
Always compete.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Never forget it.
All right. Well, then let's get to it right here on the Rich Eisen Show.
I like to do things. Here's what's interesting.
Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? TJ's too scared. I'm going center. Chris is.
I ain't never scared of those.
I know. He's not scared. He's loving it. He's waiting for his card to appear on the ceiling here.
That'd be something.
Chris,
yes.
I like to give hypotheticals,
okay.
and I want everyone to hear this because it's a question I like to ask people. You've heard it before. Everybody's heard it. I ask people, if you could sit down one-on-one with anybody, right? Somebody famous, though, and I say, who would you love to sit down with? Now, it's different. For you, the question would be framed as who you'd want to interview, potentially.
Right.
Because that's what you do for a living.
Of course.
For other people, it might be like, who do you want to have a drink with? Who do you want to share, a meal with? Now, if I said to you that question, and I told you, right now, right here, in the moment, and I said, who's the first person that pops in your head, the top choice?
Yep.
Okay? I don't want you to say it, but do you agree there should be no way in the world I could possibly know that?
No, never.
There's nothing staged in advance. There's no setup. You have not written this down. You have not looked this up. You have done nothing but literally in your mind, an image appears in your mind, right?
Correct.
So if I guess this, it seems on the surface impressive. Would you be impressed?
I'd be stunned.
You'd be stunned, but here's the problem, and I'm going to tell you why, because it's what I do for a living, is that later on, it will eat you up at night, and you'll say, God, did I pick someone too obvious? Did I pick someone too, could he have gone through my social media? Could he have done some research? Come on. At this point,
Sure.
people know what I do.
Absolutely.
And you're going to have a moment that I'm obsessed with in sports, and it's why people watch sports. What if? Live sports. Nobody watches Super Bowl on Monday. You watch it Sunday. What if Mark Andrews had caught that ball for the Ravens? He's going to be asking himself that question for the rest of his life, unfortunately. So I want the what if moment for you, Chris, which is what if he changed his mind? Rich, TJ, what if he didn't go to the first person that popped his head? What if he went to number 2? Mm-hmm. Now it's a fascinating approach. I want you to see number 2. Close your eyes.
Yep.
And I want you to see, because number 1, that was easy. But number 2, who popped in your head second? Can you imagine that person?
Yeah, absolutely.
Open your eyes. Now the plot thickens, right? Because how could I have known who you didn't even know? Now, I'm going to tell you a couple things. Right away, you asked me body language?
Yeah.
His didn't shift.
Okay.
Now, I don't like to make stereotypes based on gender, but when men think of men versus men think of women, they act different. Right? Go to high school. You'll see what I mean. 100% you picked a guy. Second person's a guy. Am I right? Of course.
Correct.
I could see it.
Yeah.
I can't decide in my mind if the first person would have been sports because the show is centered around sports, even though you have an extensive catalog.
Thank you, sir.
I think, don't give me clues. You know what? The first person, maybe, but the second person, he went back to rubber band. You snap, it goes back. He did sports second person. Close your eyes. Chris, cover him up. Could you swear, cover with your hand, under oath in court, I did not tell you who to pick. This is not faked in any way. Literally, you change your mind in the middle. There's no way I could know who this is, could I?
No, definitely not.
Keep your eyes closed. And I want to make sure we get a shot of me showing everybody. Rich, TJ, you all saw this.
Okay.
I can't change my mind. Open your eyes. I don't want the first one. That would have been too easy.
Okay.
You change your mind in the middle. It was impossible. Who did you change your mind to? Who's that person sitting across from you right now? My guess is you're actually looking up at him. Who was it? Tell us.
The big fella, Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, what?
Shaq?
What? Wow. Dude, stop it.
Yes, sir. That just happened on our show, buddy. That happened.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Unreal.
Chris might have just peed a little bit, everybody.
I'm stunned.
That's amazing.
TJ, question for you.
All right, let's do this.
You heard the
do
story.
this.
You heard the Josh Allen story.
I
He
have.
throws the ball. Any person throws it to another person. Any person throws it to any person. And I try to predict where that's going to go.
Okay.
And I guess the ATM pin code.
You did.
Is there any way in the world, that I could know your ATM pin code?
Oh, baby.
Well, after what you said earlier about my signature, I don't know.
Now he's worried about everything.
I would say I don't think there's any way that you would know.
It'd be unusual, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever written it down anywhere?
I'm sure.
You have? Why did you write your ATM pin code down?
Question. Oh,
I don't know why. At some point, I'm sure I've written it down.
TJ.
So you know what? You know what? I like this.
Scuffling.
You just hit it. The first. Look at it. Chris still shook up. Chris is blacked out, folks. He's not going to see anything for the rest of the day. He's like, what just happened? Shaq's going to knock on your door. I'm actually shooting with Shaq on Saturday. Watch the clip.
Let's go to lunch, big fella.
Okay, how about this? Grab your phone and do me a favor.
Yes.
Don't unlock it, but show us what do you have as
It's
your
unlocked already.
What's your lock screen on your phone? Is it a picture? What's it of?
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you. It's a Biggie.
Oh, we got Biggie. Good one. And then question. I'm assuming, do you normally do your Face ID?
I do not.
You don't do Face ID?
Oh.
Yo, this man's wasting hours of his life every day. Is it a 6-digit code or 4 digits?
The unlocked is 4.
4? That's not that secure. All right, you know what? You know what? I was going to do the ATM, but I like the challenge right here.
Okay.
Before I come over there, I see you got some. Rub the fingerprints off. Haters always tell me later, fingerprints. Gotta be fingerprints. I'm coming over for a second.
Oh my goodness.
Don't
Can I get
too
in the
close.
shot?
I might swing.
What is happening?
Oh,
Careful.
All right. Can we see Biggie? Can we get a close-up shot?
Let's see if we get.
Is the jib? Somebody's getting tight. Tight. There we go.
Right, let me right here.
I got it. I go here. It's locked. He wasn't lying. Hold out your finger. Think of the first number.
Of my code?
Yeah, not my code, unless
Okay.
you're a mentalist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Okay. I thought of it.
No, I know you did. I'm trying to figure it out. Think of the next number. Does it get bigger? Does it get smaller? Same. Does it move over? Right, left? Oh, look at you not moving. Look at you not flinching. Think of the second number, third number. Okay, hold up. This is just like in the movies, and you see somebody trying to crack a lock, pick a lock, but instead of hearing the click, I can feel it in his body. Think of the last number. TJ, what do I know about TJ? Open your eyes.
They weren't closed.
TJ.
Oh, were they supposed to be
TJ,
closed?
no, you're good.
Oh.
You're good. You gave it with your eyes. I can see in your soul. I think he likes to get in and out of the phone quick. You have a 4-digit code. You got to type this in a million times a day, no Face ID. You're doing a code that you could do quick. Do you care if they find out your code?
I'll change it if they.
All right.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm going to show them. The first number is a 1. Can we get tighter just so we can see this?
Let's get in there. There it is.
The next number is a 6. Kidding. Look at his face. How he got. Look at that. You went back to the 1. Can you see me close? That's the 2. That's the 2. We're inside his.
Do not pack up. Do not pack up.
Wow.
He's gone. Do not pack up. Come on. TJ.
You're not going to see him again today, folks. Sorry.
He literally, this guy's out. He's out.
Just did a wheel route.
Wait, we only got a couple minutes. Save the best for last. I don't think I can top that. Rich.
Take your time.
TJ, come back.
He's gone.
He's gone. Rich,
Yes, sir.
what is this show all about? You know what? This show is all about connecting with people.
Yes, sir.
Sports, outside of sports, people want to see, they want to see the questions that you're not asking everybody else, right? They want something deeper. And if I asked you, and I want to let this marinate, because I want them to know, before we came on set, we had like 2 minutes. I came over here, and I wanted you to think about this in advance. And I said, think of someone you have history with, somebody that you go back with, family or friend or work or any connection in your life. And I told you to take a moment with this.
Yes.
And the TJ's back. TJ's back.
Wow. TJ.
And I said to you, and I want to replay this, like deja vu. I'm going to give you the exact same instructions as before. All right, of what I said to you then, which is, Rich, close your eyes and think of somebody that you have history with. Somebody, a friend, family, work, any part of your life that I don't know why this person would pop in your head, but you can see his or her face clear as day, and there is no way anybody would know who or why you picked this person. Open your eyes. Can you see them right now?
Yes.
So I always ask myself, the chicken or the egg. People ask me, are you reading my body language, okay? And are you getting thoughts out of me, or are you planting the thoughts? And here's what I would say. This is the interesting part. We talked about our university. Michigan, go blue, go blue. And I think that that's what got in your head, and you don't even know why. It burrowed in. It's our mutual friend. You thought of Adam Schefter, didn't you?
Yeah. I did.
That's ridiculous.
That is correct.
And how about this? How about this? Let's take it one step further. Always up the ante. If I told you to call Adam Schefter right now,
Yes.
right now, he's always attached to his phone. We know that. And you said
Amazing.
one word. Imagine like a code word. If you could say one word to Adam Schefter,
Yes.
that it is impossible anybody but you and him would know. I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Right.
A word, 2 words, something that connects the two of you.
Yes.
That nobody would know. That's deeper than like a mentalism trick. Something
Sure.
that pops in your head. You got something?
I do.
Close your eyes. Is it 1 word, 2 words, 3 words? How many words are you thinking? 1 word.
Ooh.
Look what he just did with his lips.
They-
Why did he do that, Chris? His lips aren't dry. That's the noise he made. Open your eyes. I wrote something down. It cannot change. It cannot change.
Dude,
Rich,
Yes.
swear on your life, Taylor's life, that there's absolutely no way that I could know this or set this up.
That's correct.
Truly, this is not staged.
That's correct.
You just thought of Adam Schefter. Out of anybody you know,
Yes.
you're going to say one word to him on the phone. What just popped in your head?
Mongerer.
Mongerer.
Oh!
Because it's technically not even a word. It was misspelled.
The story. Holy
Wow.
wow.
O's.
Call Schefter right now and
Mentalist.
ask Schefty if he ever told me. He never told me a word.
The best.
Oh my God.
Of the best.
Dude.
How the hell did you just do that?
There's only one person on planet Earth who knows the code to my phone.
There's 2 now.
Not anymore, dude.
Might be 2 million depending on Roku Sports Channel viewership. You better change everything.
Rich, surely Mila is the only person who knows the code to my
Well,
phone, and
time
now
changed.
O's and whoever. I got to.
I'm still waiting for you to guess my first person.
No, I'm leaving a hanging thread, Chris. That's what I do.
Man.
You're going to have nightmares.
Oh my God. You got a new book later this year as well?
I have a book coming out later this year.
Fantastic.
Where, you know what? You've seen what I do.
Yeah.
And what if you could take these skills and apply them to your everyday life? You're not going to guess names or numbers, but what if you could know the right time to approach your boss for a raise? Know what your husband or wife is really thinking. That's where we're going with this. Taking the tools of mentalism and applying them to your life.
Unbelievable. And again, that story of Mongerer is when Adam Schefter broke the story that the Raiders were going to fire Art Shell at the end of the season back in 2006. And Al Davis called him a false rumor mongerer. And that's one of my nicknames for him that very few people know. Unbelievable. You're the best, man.
Thanks, guys.
I cannot wait to show
That
this
was
to my
unbelievable.
daughter, my kids, all 3 of my kids.
Shout out to Taylor, to all your kids. Thank you for
Thank you
supporting
very
me and
much.
being such big fans.
Fantastic. Anytime you're in LA, I would love to have you back in studio.
Love it.
I'm a huge fan.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you for
Chris,
joining us.
TJ's
Thanks,
currently on the phone with the bank changing everything.
O's the Mentalist, O's Perlman right here.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.